Do you have excess skin in your upper arm? And have you ever wondered how plastic surgeons perform arm lift surgery? So I've made my markings. Now I'm going to start with the incision through the skin and the fat. There's different types of brachioplasty, and each different type serves a different purpose depending on how much excess skin and fat there is in the upper arm. So just continuing those incisions along the front. The most common reason a person might want to have a brachioplasty or arm lift is after a considerable weight loss and the skin becomes loose and flabby. Next step is to come through the fat layer with diathermy. We use diathermy because it coagulates the blood vessels and we get less bleeding. And once through the fat, then we go down and we gradually dissect that skin and fat layer off the underlying muscles of the arm, starting from the front and moving slowly towards the back. The reason we have this incision so posterior is that we want the end resultant scar to be running down the back surface of the arm. So we raise this big flap of skin and fat off the arm. Before committing to excising the skin, we have to check that we're not taking too much, because that's one of the worst things you can do in a brachioplasty. So I'm going to re-drape that skin up over, and then I can see that I can then cut off this amount of skin quite safely and we'll be able to close the incision. So I've double checked how much skin I can take, and now I can safely excise this excess skin by running another incision at the back of the arm here, and also taking out this excess skin in the armpit. So I'm just going to complete that incision, and normally in surgery I would have an assistant holding this, so it's actually much easier for me to do than doing it on my own. And we just remove that skin. The skin gets weighed because we want to take the same amount off each side, and then it just gets discarded. So after removing that skin, all that's left to do is to close the incision. We usually close this incision with internal dissolving invisible stitches. I can show you on another video how we do invisible stitching in plastic surgery, but the reason we do that is that it gives really good scars. So we're just closing that wound all along there. I'm just finishing off that incision. This is quite a long incision. This is pretty standard for what I would normally do for a weight loss patient. But if you don't have as much laxity, you may have a shorter scar, you may only have an axillary lift, or if you have a lot of excess skin in the side of your chest, this skin removal and scar can be taken down and under the breast. So it really needs to be tailored to each particular person. So the resultant scar for this lady starts at the elbow, goes at the back surface of the arm, up into the armpit, and then there's a transverse component in the armpit as well.